Welcome back to Project 613. We continue learning about the Jewish festivals, and the specific mitzvot we are going to learn today have to do with Sukkot, Shmini Atzeret, and we begin talking about Pesach as well. So when it comes to Sukkot, we have two general mitzvahs, a positive and a negative, as we've had with all of the previous Yomim Tovim. We first have the positive mitzvah to rest on the holiday of Sukkot, and this is what the Torah tells us, that on the 15th day of the month of Tishrei, it is the festival of Sukkot, and the Torah refers to it as a Mikra Kodesh. And as we have already learned previously, this means it is a day that we are obligated to rest, just like we rest on Shabbat. That's the first mitzvah. The next mitzvah that we have with Sukkot is the corresponding negative prohibition, where we are forbidden from performing any of the types of work on the holiday of Sukkot. Again, this is a reference to the 15th day of the month of Nisan in the diaspora. When we keep 2 days, this means the 15th and 16th of Nisan, the first Yomim Tovim of Sukkot. The third mitzvah that we learn today is the mitzvah to rest on Shmini Atzeret. Shmini Atzeret is the 8th day from the first day of Sukkot, where again the Torah refers to it by Yom HaShmini Mikra Kodesh, on the 8th day. It should be a Yontif, and again we are obligated to rest. And then again we also have after that the corresponding negative prohibition, Kol Melechet Avodah Lo Ta'asu, is forbidden for us to perform any work. Now, as has been mentioned previously, when it comes to the Yomim Tovim, to the festivals, in general, they are the same as a Shabbat. All the types of work that we are forbidden from doing on Shabbat, we are forbidden from doing on a Yontif, besides for a few exceptions. Number one, we mentioned one exception of cooking, where it is permitted for us to cook on Yontif so long as we are using an existing flame. We are allowed to then cook using an existing flame. Another exception to the rule is carrying, that it is permitted for us to carry on Yontif, and although essentially, initially, this had to do with cooking as well, that since cooking was permitted, so too carrying for the sake of cooking was permitted as well. But the sages have taught us that once carrying has become permitted for the sake of cooking, it has also become permitted even not for the purpose of cooking, and therefore anything that's necessary for us to carry on Yontif, it is permissible for us to carry, and that is one of the big differences between Shabbos and Yontif. The next mitzvah that we are going to learn today is when it comes to Erev Pesach, the day before Pesach, which is the 14th day of the month of Nisan. The Torah tells us, Lo tochal alav chametz. We are already prohibited from eating chametz, from eating any leavened bread, not only on Pesach, which that we'll learn about in the coming days, but already on Erev Pesach, on the day before Pesach, from midday, we are forbidden from eating chametz. It's a biblical prohibition, and the verse is talking about when the Jewish people would bring the Paschal Lamb offering, and it says at the time that the Paschal Lamb offering is brought, we are not allowed to eat chametz. When is the Paschal Lamb offering brought? Not on Pesach, but on Erev Pesach, on the day before Pesach, on the 14th day of Nisan. And hence we know that the prohibition of eating chametz begins already before Pesach starts, on Erev Pesach, on the 14th day of Nisan in the afternoon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.